nice, thoughtful input, and I appreciate that.
That was great too.
Hey guys, welcome to IG Live, edition like 9 million at this point. And today's going to be a really good episode. We are going to be wearing items that span from the last couple seasons and then specifically from winter.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is the overarching theme today is around the notion of whether or not you have outfits in your closet or whether or not you have style in your closet. And there's a real difference. And I just got back from being on the road. I was at Vermilion and at Burton Vogue in North Carolina. If you guys don't know those stores, please visit them online or even better in person. But what I heard from a lot of people coming out of the dressing room is they didn't want to have on an outfit.
Right.
Like that, there was some real perceived negativity around that, maybe because, well, I used to think it was purely about like not wanting to look like you're trying too hard.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've really come to realize is I think that when you're wearing an outfit, people just don't feel like themselves.
Totally.
You're not wearing your own skin.
It's like a costume.
Exactly. And so, hold on one second. So what we want to talk today is about your personal style, embodying that all the time so that when you receive things, especially around the holiday time, because I bet a lot of you are placing orders and you're thinking, well, I have to go to this event or to that event.
Totally.
And the thing is you don't want to think of, just like you don't want to think of things purely as outfits, you also don't want to think your life as like an event.
Right.
And then what do you do with all the other time?
Right. I mean, for me, that's the only time that is like the scenario, and I actually hate that, is when I'm a bridesmaid. And
okay, that's
like,
a fact, right?
Right, but like, so that feeling that you all know about, that's a feeling we want to avoid.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important that like, if you're thinking about events and the attire that's associated with them, like you look at pieces in terms of versatility. So like, we'll never be like, well, that sequin skirt is just for evening. Like, I don't think anyone has ever said that here.
No, they haven't. Or maybe they did, but they probably didn't last very long.
But they probably don't work here anymore.
Exactly. So I think what the key though is that when you are shopping, when you're online, when you're going to a store, the key is that you are shopping your adjectives and your modifier. And even for the stores that I was working with this week, that was kind of an eye-opener for them is right when a customer came in, like I didn't ask them, do they have an event that they're coming for? Like what's the hole in your closet that you're looking to fill? The first thing I really wanted to know was, what were their adjectives? What were the 3 ways that they would use to describe themselves? And guys, if you go back through our Instagram, my channel on Instagram for the last 2 years, you're gonna find a lot of good content here. And what is constantly reinforced is that it's 3 adjectives, not 2 and not 4, because 2 does not fully round out describing a person. And then when you get to 4, it gets a little chaotic when you're looking at adjectives. Also remember, adjectives describe a noun. They describe something. So you are a person, you are a noun. If I am describing you, those are adjectives. And remember, when people come in sometimes and they're like, my adjectives are 60s, A-line skirt, and race cars.
I would love to be a race car.
But those are all nouns, right? You know that. So the key is if you are tempted to write down nouns, go ahead and do that, but then start peeling that back further and further. So if your inclination was to say 60s, I would bet that that's probably going to lead you somewhere to the word classic.
Totally.
Because that really, like that, and if it's a race car, then that's either risk-taking or edgy or something like that. So knowing those 3 adjectives and always shopping for your adjectives will keep you from having this pile up of one and done outfits that you never wear again, and then you won't have that closet that is set up very specifically day, evening, work, play, etc.
Right.
So is this for an event? Where are you going and like
This is
what?
for my life.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's
Life.
right into it.
Where am I going? Honestly, I'm going everywhere in this. So I'll start with the jeans. These are the acid wash Sam jeans from fall. They are a 24. I am wearing them.
And so I'm wearing a 27 in the regular wash.
Yes.
And you have yours folded.
I have
and
mine
I don't.
cuffed and Amy doesn't. Yeah.
5'5",
5
5'1",
feet.
5 feet. So
I'm
you can
also
see the
wearing
difference.
a 3-inch heel.
Damn. Well, actually, I got a heel on.
So someone do the math for us. Like,
Yeah.
Let us know when the trains crash.
It's not
in
one
the
of our
middle.
adjectives. Okay, so you
Yeah.
got on the acid.
So I have in the acid wash, and then I'll take this off for now. I have the white crepe squiggly fluid tunic, which we also have in a midi dress. But the great thing about this tunic is the slit on the side, which we actually added when we were styling out our fall 2022 runway, because we kept on wanting to utilize the pockets, and this was actually closed off more similarly to how our dress looks.
And you couldn't stand in a way that was
You
chill.
couldn't, you were just like,
There was no like slouch.
it was
You couldn't
almost
bring
like
it
you
up.
had like gone into the dressing room and you're like, I'm not taking my pants off, and you just
Right.
like put on the top and you're like, does this work? I don't know. So, you know, we're big pocket people, as you all know, you are too. And so we did another variation of this look actually on the runway. It was this top in black, and the end of the runway was actually like a sneak peek of our winter capsule collection, so that's why we're having this conversation now. But we made this top in black and white, and this is probably my favorite piece from winter capsule because of the versatility. So I'm wearing it right now.
Can I show you one thing? So when we were at Vermilion,
Mhm.
so many clients were putting this on.
Mhm.
And so what we showed them is some people were like, okay, done.
Right.
So sold. And other people were like, sold sometimes, but not every time. And others were like, no fucking way am I going like skin here.
Totally.
And so what I was showing them is if you get like high top pantyhose,
Oh, totally.
especially like sheer ones, like black sheer high top
They're like
pantyhose
opaque at the top.
pulled up. No, but even sheer.
Oh, really?
I think it's like sheer hosiery for your stomach,
Oh, yeah,
which is
yeah.
an interesting vibe
Totally.
happening underneath. So there was a really interesting way. Just hike that hosiery
Yeah.
up. Don't give yourself a wedgie. Like go with the tall version if you need to. But
Yeah, I
it
mean-
really is beautiful just having that like sheerness showing.
Totally. And I definitely like would be into you know, like a colored type. My modifier is risk taker, just to preface that. Or like a fishnet.
Yeah, fishnet.
Because I think
always.
also this is like a big, slim skin kind of thing, and then here is more a little bit of skin too. But I really would wear this, honestly, like perfect PDW for me. I would put on a Liam blazer or a Marlin blazer with this, keep the jean. I might trade out for an Elfie pant if I'm like going out to dinner. It's a little bit more formal. I actually am hoping to wear this to a party over the weekend with like a pair of sparkly fishnet, like we'll call them pants. They're not. But so just this top in multiple different venues and like aspects of my life, and I think a lot of people would be like, oh, that's such like a formal, pretty
Yeah.
top. And while it is, I have so many uses for it outside of like this idea of event dressing.
Perfect.
And so I just also grabbed one of our new alpaca ombre knits that we have exclusive on the website. And this is the ivory ombre colorway. And I just really love for winter to really play on whites and ivories and cream. Bryn does too, and she's actually gonna show you guys in one of her outfits how to style that. And I really just like the friction between this like really pretty fabric and something that's a little heavier, like kind of says winter. And so honestly, I'd probably just layer this over too, and it'd create a little bit of like a peplum that we're kind of feeling right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes I've gotten a lot of DMs from you guys saying, how do you get friction? What does friction mean?
Mm-hmm.
How do I get ironing? And the thing is one man's ironing might be another's like just average run-of-the-mill thing, right?
It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's really how you have to.
Yeah, and
look
it's
at it.
also in the place that you are. So I did a IG post this morning on the woman who has the Instagram handle, The Creative Classicist.
Mhm.
And I think she actually is so chic and elegant the way that she mixes things. And so she's constantly carrying that Balenciaga motorcycle bag.
Yep.
On her, it is so ironic. It's
Yeah.
very unexpected. And that is irony on her.
Totally.
I think, you know, if someone was getting off the train in like a baby pink sweatsuit, Balenciaga sneakers, and that
Right.
bag, there's no irony there.
No.
So irony really depends on your lifestyle, what your like real adjectives are, what your adverbs. If your modifier is classic, then anything that is not classic is going to be ironic.
Totally.
And if your modifier is super edgy, then anything that's classic is going to be
Right.
ironic, you know?
Totally.
So that's how that works.
So I'm gonna change.
Cool.
Send one of my
We'll change.
colleagues.
Why don't we bring Britt up? So we have on the same sweater here.
Yes, we do.
And this is the Mohair sweater. I think it's the kid Mohair sweater. And what I love about the Mohair sweater, and not every sweater has to operate at this level, but there is an unbelievable intense richness to the yarn, and it takes color really, really well. And so what that means is, for me, the Mohair, it really dresses up a regular wash denim.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, sometimes you throw on a sweater with denim and you're like taking everything down a
Too
notch.
casual, yeah.
This actually elevates it, so that if I were going to a dinner party and just wearing the little satin sandal here, then I don't feel like I've got on a total clothing mullet,
Yeah.
you know? So that's giving a richness. And then for you,
Yeah.
it's rich enough that if you're wearing it over
Okay.
this dress, it's not like you threw the sweatshirt on.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go get those little
Oh, yeah.
guys, so I'll punch yourself.
Yeah. I'll have a friend help me. So.
Here, I'll come back.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so Brittany's wearing the squiggle dress. And before she came out here, we were working on this in my office, because you came in and we said you were
Yeah.
wearing the size 12. We wish that we had the 14
Yeah.
for you to try on, but we only grabbed the 12 from the store.
It's definitely hip hugging.
Yeah.
Um,
But what was
But-
happening is that was poking out there, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I wish I hadn't had those pockets.
Yeah.
In that case, because then they would not be poking out.
Yeah.
And it would just be like
It'd be
a gentle
a
hug,
sno- yeah.
not an annoying hug. But I
but
want
with these,
yeah,
it
I'm gonna
completely
show you.
like transforms it. I don't know if you
So
could.
this is this new thing. You guys, this is gonna blow your minds, I promise. So I just ordered these, and I'm not gonna say from where, but it was from a place that got them to me very quickly, but I'm not gonna promote them. I'm just not
Just
gonna
go
say it,
ahead.
I refuse. But there are these little push pins, okay? So the push pins, you can see what the back side looks like. They're little push pins. And we started playing with these push pins, and this has been like the miracle thing for just instantly fixing things.
Yep.
Not so much so that it's like, oh, I'll never need to go to a tailor again, but fixing it so that you're not locked into
Yeah.
a certain
Look.
length or
Yeah.
exactly. So for Britt here, when we were playing around, the pockets were, well, let me
You can-
do, is that
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so the pockets were just poking out, and I didn't want that to happen, but we were like, well, what if we just create this interesting line here? And I'm gonna take the push pin, and I'm just gonna tack it up here and lift up that pull. So in real life, we'd probably go and get these pockets stitched down, or we would try on the size 14, but you can see here, like in a pinch, there are literally things that you can do to
Yeah.
your clothes to manipulate.
And we also did it with the strap. I just wanted it tucked up a little bit more. I felt more comfortable, and it just like adds a really nice little element to it and makes me feel more comfortable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we were saying, well, what happens if you tie the sweater
Yeah.
around, and you were saying that you don't love things.
Yeah, I don't love tying things in the front only because I do have a bigger chest, so it like creates a really like a bulkiness in front. So I tend to tie things up on top of the shoulder. Or with these pins, you can really play around with it and put a pin, not in this mohair, but
Well, I'm gonna try it. It does work in the mohair,
Yeah.
but I think one of the reasons why we started using the pen with this was
Yeah.
this one's got really long sleeves.
Yeah.
But for something that doesn't have as long as sleeves, then it works really well too. So here, I'm gonna take them out so you guys can see how we do this from the beginning.
Yeah.
And these are silver tacks that I have. So again, these are just regular push pins, like that. And then we just took this sweater and just like played around with tacking it up. And actually, Sarah did the ultimate job here. She is like the queen of this.
yeah.
But just pushing this in like that and securing
And
it.
it flattens it so it doesn't feel so bulky.
Yeah, so it's just, like even when I was using this one this morning as a scarf and doing it doubled around my neck, it was like if I did it in the bib and then brought it around,
Yeah.
the arms weren't long enough to tie it. So I just did one of the little push pins and it was
And I
like,
love it. And I feel like
Totally
this
good.
also like dresses down the dress, especially as it's hip hugging. It's makes it a little more sexy. So this kind of brings it down a little bit.
Matt has a question for someone.
So, one, do the pockets come stitched?
No.
Good. And did you guys go over sizes yet?
So this is a size 12.
Mhm.
And we said that in a perfect world, we would have had a 12 and a 14 to
Yeah.
try on. But also, as with anything, like people have different shapes in different areas. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just working and seeing what you like best. Because you were saying that you were surprised that you liked something this open
Yeah.
up here.
I typically wear things that are baggier up here. I like to be a little bit more conservative on my like day to day, but I love this neckline and it makes me feel really comfortable. There's no cleavage showing and it's really flattering.
So this is, guys, when we talk about, a lot of you guys write to me and you're like, I need to know exactly what item is best for my shape. And when I say that what we focus on are chill modern classic, 1 ton or none, all of those elements, like this whole thing is effortless. Like you're
Yeah.
very comfortable in it. It's
Yeah.
got stretch. This is amazingly modern. It's black. It's
Ye-
something so quite
Yeah.
classic. And
I
so
would wear this to like a Friendsgiving party with like a sweater over it, or like I have my boyfriend's like holiday party coming up. I would feel comfortable wearing it there. It's not too revealing.
And you had mentioned revealing like twice. in
Sorry.
the no, but like it's concerns, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is just when we talk about like buying your style and not your outfits, I am so not fixated on any individual thing. It is like literally just seeing the full
The
person here.
entirety,
Like I'm seeing
yeah.
the eyes, the hair, the tattoo, the makeup, the jewelry. Like it's such a full
And that's-
person.
Yeah, but I also
Rather
feel
than-
like we always pinpoint the thing
Yeah.
most, but
But I think if someone walked up to you at a party, I guarantee you what they would say is, damn, you look amazing. I just don't think they would be like, I love this dress specifically.
yeah.
I think the thing would be on the whole you. And
Yeah.
And should they be worried about holes with the push pin strip?
Okay, so what I noticed when I took that out right away, and sorry Miranda, we are keeping this. In this one, we have little holes there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at this as like a permanent thing. We're gonna really play around to see where there are holes, where there are not. When we did them on the Stella nylons and the tropical wools, there were no holes, but we're gonna really keep going with this because I'm gonna try on in a minute the cotton satin Elfie pants, and these were like a game changer
yeah.
with that. And I've used them here, so this sweater's nice and big and oversized, but I put in one of them right here to hold up the sweater, and you guys can't even see it. I've got the black one in, and it just made like a nice shorter sweater for me.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
Huh?
I said I had no idea.
I know, it's so cool, right? This is,
It brings a
again,
new shape to it. It's really
yeah,
nice,
not to be
yeah.
named, but this is a game changer. And I'm not gonna promote them either. What you can do, you can just Google push pins, okay? All right, Bryn, why don't you come up?
guys, I feel the coziest I have ever felt.
I know.
Like, I actually, like, I'm so tempted to go get this for myself. This is so comfortable. I am actually wearing a sweater and a dress. I'm wearing the compact stretch knit long sleeve. I don't know if the long sleeve's in the name on the website, but it is long sleeve dress. I am wearing a size small. I will take off the sweater so you guys can see. I'm wearing a size small. I am 5'2", so if I went with my true size, which I would probably take an extra small in this dress just because I like sweater dresses to not be super fitted, not that this is, but I just personally like that. And it would probably just sit like slightly, like barely higher, so I like if you're worried about being shorter in this dress, I would not stress at all. I am layering it with the, as we found out last week, the merino wool hole at the back sweater. Because guys, it has a hole at the back. I am layering it multiple ways, but for me, I find sometimes in the winter, one of my best styling tricks is to just layer different fabrications and textures because I get really cold all the time. So for me, layering fabrications and textures is pretty much my way of kind of bringing in newness. I will tie this as a scarf, just kind of like wrapping it up and then putting it in a little knot at the back. I like that you can see my jewelry coming through. For me, that's kind of my thing. And I think we established my mock, which I think I would say is like, I don't know, maybe refined, but also elegant. I guess the two can go in tandem depending on
I mean, I have
the
to say when I
situation.
said elegant, people, well, to me, refined overlaps heavily with classic.
Yeah.
Nothing classic is not refined,
Yeah.
generally. But I do think you have a sense of elegance about you. You know, you don't stomp when you walk, you don't cuss. When
I'm working on that. That's a work in progress.
Review goals, right?
My mom called me out for that, so.
But I think that what I want to say here with the way that you're dressed is, this is a story, I told it twice in North Carolina, so if you're watching this and you were at the event, I apologize. And I know I've told it online before, but it's really relevant right now. So this is a story about Brigitte from Belgium. And so there was an event that happened, the year was 1997, and we were on the island of Bali. And my husband was friends with the head of the Four Seasons there in Bali. And he said, we are going to go over to whatever his name was and his wife's house for dinner. And we got there, and of course, I was wearing a head-to-toe Lily Pulitzer getup. And so, to be fair, let me explain, like, this was the year that Lily had just been reborn. Tom Ford had riffed on it for Gucci. Michael Kors had riffed on it for his line. So, and
In its
remember,
prime.
like,
It
it
was in
looks
its
good,
prime.
right? So, it was a trend, it was happening, and I was like all in for it. And we got to this beautiful, small, gorgeous little wood house in Bali, and the door opens, and there's Brigitte standing there, and she's wearing just these white linen, like, pull-on drawstring pants, this little, like, white tank, this little gray sweater, and I literally just wanted to sink into the floor, and it was because it wasn't just her outfit. Like, when she opened the door, I was like, no, you're me, and I don't know why I'm like
The mirror
this.
wasn't
Yeah, I'm
connecting,
like,
yeah.
I was so not me. I was full on trend, full on print. Like, I just thought, like, okay, well, it's in style, it's on trend, like, so this will be a great outfit. But when I got there, Brigitte was me.
Yeah.
And so you never want to show up at an event not being you. And when you, and a great outfit, and like, even if it's a trend, whatever, if that collides, bonus.
Yeah.
But it is the worst feeling to show up at a place and not be
Oh, that is like,
who you are, especially fucking Brigitte is
Oh,
standing there
she's-
barefoot in front
it's
of
like
you.
the
and
dream of like talking to an audience and like you're naked and it's a whole thing. It's like,
It was-
that's the dream, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm scarred about this, and but I've really been able to put it into words to figure out why it is so important that you're constantly dressing like you, and that you have that ease and that comfort. And I can tell when you guys come out of a dressing room when we're together, there are just times where you come out and like your shoulders are so high in the air. It's so clear how uncomfortable you are, And make sure that like when you come out, Patrick calls it the schlump, when you come out, just make sure that you really are feeling at ease. And whatever you do, don't let a salesperson jump down and convince you that you are at ease when you are not. And just looking good in something does not mean that you will be at ease.
Yeah, because there's so many things that can look incredible on so many
I mean,
people.
honestly, I thought the Lily thing looked good. You look back at a picture, it looks good. It's just that if you stood me next to Brigitte, you're like, what in the living fuck? So anyways, so here I've got on the sequin sheer skirt, and this has a layer of lining in it. And the idea is, you can see I'm actually wearing white underwear, which you can't see. So you can see it's not see-through, but this level of sheerness is really important because it feels really fresh. And when we talk about getting more from your clothing and dressing in a way that is style, not outfits, it's more that when you are shopping that you're thinking, okay, what's that like really rich, dense sweater that's gonna occupy that space in my closet? And then what's that skirt that is really kind of light and airy, and how these two work together to balance each other off. Because if this was a very thick and gummy skirt, if I were trying to go to an event, I think I would feel too heavy and overloaded in it. And then for me, I've just taken the knee-high sheer socks and I pulled them down a little bit so that it looks like a shorter sock. I would not wear, for me, a shorter sock from the front like that, but from the back, it's a good little, like, just when you thought maybe you could expect something, you can. The other thing, oh wait, is there a question?
How straight is this skirt?
The skirt is, it's a pencil skirt in that it is straight. However, it is not a trouser skirt, and here's the difference. So as a pencil skirt here, it has about a 1-inch waistband, and the waistband has a facing in it that is sturdy enough to like make it not like flimsy and gross on a hanger, but it's not so sturdy that it becomes not pliable. And then the inside slip has elastic waist. And so why I'm explaining that is the difference is when you have a trouser skirt has usually pockets here, you've got a front zipper, and then a true trouser waistband, which means that when you just throw on a trouser skirt with a range of sizes and hips and everything, a trouser skirt can be a little bit harder to just throw on unless it's a really stretchy fabric. This one, being that it is pencil in shape, but it's very pliable at the top, means that it can really fit a broad range of customers. And it really is straight up and down, which I love. The other thing to show before I jump off is, let me just say this mohair is hot.
Well, that'll be good when it's cold.
Literally sweating bullets right now. But so I put in my pin in the back of this as well. I don't want to sit on it. What if we all start sitting on these? That's gonna suck. Okay, so you can see here, it's quite loose, right? And I don't feel as refined as I want to when my sweater is dangling and loose. So what I'm gonna do is use the push pin, and I'm just gonna fold it over in the back, and then I'm gonna push it through. And you cannot make a hole in this sweater. That would be physically impossible. It's not gonna ever be damaged. So I just pushed it through, and then what I did is I created that cocoon shape in the back that we love in our sweatshirts and everything. And we love that cocoon shape because we say that when we love modernity and then when we love classic styling, if you think about like all those beautiful photographs from the 60s and everything where those models are standing around, that has that kind of elegant, classic little hump back here. And now you can see in the front, it's much more fitted across here and it's not wobbly. So those push pins are really good. They're gonna be your new game saver. Okay, this looks really good. Why don't you guys come out and talk, because I literally have to get this off my body. You're so hot. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Sorry, Bruce. Oh, wow. Such a different angle. Okay. What? Hi. Okay, Brittany, we'll talk about what you're wearing first.
so this is the same Mohair sweater, but sleeveless. I took some push pins too, and I just cropped it up on one side, just to add a little bit more so it's not.
Like so straight down,
Exactly,
a little
yeah.
zhuzhing, if you will.
Yeah. And then this is the pleated featherweight pull-on skirt.
Yep.
And this is in a large, and
This is a sample.
Yeah.
So as you can see, like they really do fit a wide range,
Yeah.
and also like to layer whatever. Like the colors are. I mean, I was about to like throw her a green sweater around, but I didn't want to overwhelm you too much. But you know, I do think what's really great here are the contrast of colors between this like very pretty like winter ivory and
Yeah.
then the really stark azure blue. And then you guys probably can't see it out there, but I'm asking Brittany to just lift up her foot a little
Yeah.
bit so you can see the nori slide in that brown, I call it teddy bear material. That's definitely not what we're calling it on the website. But so you've got three very distinct fabrications here,
Yeah.
and so this sweater definitely gives it that good ick, which if you haven't heard us say before, you're gonna hear us say a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really like that chill, modern, classic, like it really
Exactly.
just hit all 3 points and not like really hard to find like balance.
Yeah.
Which is what we as creative pragmatists are striving for.
Yeah, and Bryn actually helped me define what my modifier is, which is balance. So anytime that I'm wearing something like more feminine, which is definitely this pleated skirt, I like to go a little bit more boxy or
Totally.
masculine.
Yeah, I
I'd say,
definitely think
up
it's like a
top
bit. I
to
think I definitely think
yeah.
like the shoulder is bold. It's definitely
Yeah.
like eye catching. You know, it's like a little bit of a funnel collar neck over here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think you exude balance. When you told me that was your modifier, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. I'm also a Libra, so my thing is
Guys, if that isn't
style, yeah.
spot on, I don't know what is.
Your modifier is about orderliness.
Law and order.
Law and order.
And orderliness.
Yeah.
I just like you just get off on a chart big time. In the best way possible. In a way that I'm highly grateful.
Thank you.
So
Would you just do like a close up of the pins one more time?
Yeah.
And just like, if you
So
show
this,
off,
yeah.
like, both pins a little bit? Yeah, I guess it.
Okay, guys. That's literally what it looks like. You've
It's
definitely
like the back
seen
of the
these
actual pin. Yeah.
Yes, that is actually what it is. You've definitely seen them
They're
before.
flat.
They're flat. They have those things that you squeeze. Those are technical terms, I know. But they really get the job done. And
Yeah.
the great part about these ones is that they're like slightly mirrored, so they're picking up on the color of whatever
Yeah.
you are pinning them to.
Yeah. They don't give away.
No. And I guess I'll talk about what I'm wearing. I keep like going like this with the scarf as if I'm like a movie star. I'm not, don't worry. Okay, so I am wearing the cream version t-shirt of the black speckled skirt that Amy was just wearing. This one is unlined, it comes unlined, so I'm just wearing like a white satin bralette underneath because I kind of really like the sheerness though. If you are looking for something that's a bit more conservative, you could definitely layer a tank top very easily. The top is a size small. I'm wearing it with the Eco Acetate shorts in khaki from fall. These are my shorts, they're a 00. I have them in black too. I also have the shirt jackets. I love these shorts, and what I really love about wearing this combination together, it's because something that's like super traditionally like event worthy is what we were saying before, and something that feels like very festive in a t-shirt just immediately grounds it. It makes it super chill. These shorts again are in definitely more of a like traditional suiting fabrication, but they are mimicked after a more of like a skate surf short. So I feel like I'm wearing just traditional fabrics in kind of unexpected silhouettes, which is like one of my favorite things about Tibi. And do you have something to say?
Yeah.
Okay. To Matt in the back.
Would you wear flats with those shorts?
I totally would wear flats with those shorts. I don't have any currently that I could fit on to show you, but if you were looking to like recreate something like this, I definitely would wear a Baron with it. I think the Barons that are coming out with the straps in the metallic silver, gold, purple, and zebra print, I think that those are super ironic with these shorts because it kind of gives that very like surfer skater vibe, which for me, like I would probably just wear it with like a classic t-shirt or a shoulder pad tee, or you could wear them with the Rudolph. Sorry, Matt's getting very close. What? You can wear it with a Rudolph flat in any of the colors. I would love a metallic silver or even the classic or black and white Napa. I've chosen to wear it with a Neve pump in navy just because I wanted to do something that was like a little bit more subdued than black. Black felt like very harsh with this. And then I just grabbed our navy scarf, which we just came out with again recently. This is an older style that we have updated for the season. We have it also in ivory. I'm sure you've heard Amy say it a million times. This scarf is like the essential for traveling. I literally have sat with it on a plane completely over my entire body.
Yeah.
Like,
So the
fully.
and the reason why, even though you are a small butt, the reason why is because this width is a good like 40% wider than a regular scarf.
I feel like we're like opening the Torah scroll.
So it's much wider than a regular scarf, but it is pliable enough.
Absolutely.
But it's not a pashmina, so.
Which is
you know.
which we
It's
want
a
to be
good
like
thing.
very clear on.
Yeah, it's a
but
good thing.
yeah, so like I said, I've literally like wrapped it around my whole body, but I do like, you know, the versatility in terms of I can just wrap it back like this, and then, you know, if I'm wearing something that's sleeveless, I'm immediately covered, immediately a little bit warmer. And I just think that it just adds a little bit of interest. Oh,
Totally.
now I'm attached to a jacket.
No, but it was interesting because Christine and I were on the plane going to North Carolina, and she totally lost her sweater on the plane. I mean, someone was like, hey man, you lost your sweater. But I do think like when you're traveling, even like hooking your sweaters
yeah.
or your scarves through your loop in the back just keeps it from like getting lost.
Totally.
Or if you're gonna turn it into like a coat check.
No, 100%.
Right, and
Like
you're
when you're
like-
like, did I put my gloves in that pocket? Where's my
Yeah.
hat? Like it all goes. If you see
So
us
it does fit into the.
in the airport in 2 weeks, like running around like with things flying out of our coats, don't worry.
Don't
They're
know.
safe.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna show you like super pen craziness galore. So I've got on, it was interesting, I started to put on the slim cashmere top, but I was wearing the heel with it, and the whole thing felt too slim for me. And so this is where I was describing, there was a store one time that I was in, and I had come out in a really skin tight dress, and the store owner was like, oh my God, why, yay, we can see your body, like why do you hide your body? And I just told him, like, I don't hide my body, it's just those aren't really proportions for me that are interesting for me. So remember, you are dressing for you, not for your shape, not for the salesperson, not for a spouse. If you have the right spouse, he will or she will, or they will absolutely love what you're wearing. And honestly, I was with my husband at the time, and when I came out, he was like, that does not look like my wife at all. So that was good. So I want to show you again, like the little tricks here with the guys. So I'm going to use the silver one. And this is the double face alpaca. And no, you will not poke a hole in this one by doing it. So I'm just going to do this right here. And then all of a sudden, you just have more ease with what you're wearing. And it's just an option. I didn't fix this or anything like that. There are even things that I could imagine doing where I could take this off and play around with turning this into a sleeve that's like this rather than an open sleeve. So the idea is just giving you options in your closet. Now, the one great thing that we realized with these push pins, and this is where we're gonna problem solve later on, making sure that you guys have these as options, in the future when you order things is these push pins came into huge help for me with these pants. So this is the cotton sateen Elfie pant. Sorry, I got in a fight with Sarah's other sweater in there, but these are the cotton sateen Elfie pant. So you can see the Elfie is a fitted pant. I'm wearing the size 4 or 27, whichever it is. I'm wearing my regular size in it. So you saw me in the 27 Sam jean. You can see that that is an eased out fit. And then the Elfie pant here is designed to be a much slimmer fit. For me, for the record, my hips are in between a 4 and a 6. Tracy says they are definitely a 6. I'm gonna call them in between. And that's why this 4 here is definitely a little more fitted on me whenever I wear something that is designed to have a slimmer fit, okay? So the Elfie, what I have done here is I took the push pins and I brought up both sides of the pant and then I secured them. So I'm gonna take it out here and I'm gonna show you the difference in the pant leg. So this is a pant that was meant to be quite a long pant, and that when you wear a heel with it, it splays out over the front of the foot. But the thing is in this pant, oftentimes I want to be able to wear a flat with it or a low heel, because any good pant should give you those options. So what I did was I might need help. Yeah. So what I did was I folded under each side and then tacked it up. So you can see on the back here, there are 2 little guys where I tacked it up. So I'm gonna put on the shoes so you can see how this pant is designed to look when it is down. Again, remember I am just under 5'5", so that'll give you an idea of my height. And for our follower P, who was writing to me asking me to try these on, they are the same fit as the tropical wool ones that we've done in the past, but this one does have stretch to it. So I think what you might be doing is feeling a little bit more of the give. You said they felt a little bit different, but these do have stretch, so that's probably what you are feeling. So on the left side here, I've got the pant worn completely down, and if I am in that mood, I'm gonna wear the high heel. And then for me, always, I'm gonna balance it out with something larger on the top. And then on this one, I can wear this with the low guy, or I can just wear it with a flat, and this feels very much in my comfort zone. So it's not an either or, it's a both situation, and those little snappy guys allowed me to do that, which was great. This looks good. Do you guys want? Will you take over?
Sure.
Thank you. Come on.
I was just conversing if this dress was hemmed by.
It is
like,
the Midi
or if it
dress.
is the Midi version and therefore just a maxi on me.
Yes, that is the answer. This is the
Did I
Midi.
do 2 lengths in that?
No, but we our regular fundamentals one is
Is
the maxi, but the one for winter capsule for in
Is-
this color and the lovely champagne
You know,
is the
that is
Midi.
great to know. because
So-
I
And-
only know that because I'm obsessed with this dress.
So that's true. Let me explain one more thing though. Last year we did this in a
Oh.
bronze color.
Yes.
This one this year, I think we did it about 1.5 inches longer than the
Yeah.
one from the previous
That
year.
was like a true Midi.
Got
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That looks great.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, I'm just really a big fan of this dress.
It's so pretty.
It's such a good dress. So I
Such a
just,
good dress.
so I will just preface that I am 5'0". Wow, 5'5". I wish. And then I'm wearing still
I was gonna say,
the
I'm really
Neve,
tall.
the Neve 3-inch shoe. It hits me just at about the ankle, which I really like this length for me. This is a size small. I just grabbed it from the closet. I kind of like that it's a bit looser on me. I might go to an extra small, but honestly, I'm like pretty comfortable in this.
It's-
Like I
That's the
like
thing about
feeling
a bias.
like I don't want
Yeah.
like a I just for me I don't like when something is like skin tight in this type of fabrication because it's supposed to be slinky And I just don't think it would have that same effect in a smaller size.
I always tell people, if you are concerned about the size, to go up
Totally.
when it's a bias, because it's nearly
Yeah.
impossible to have it be too big.
Mhm.
Because it's really not even gaping at your armhole.
Yeah, and I'll just like shake this.
Yeah.
There you go. So this is a dress that, I mean, Wolverine's obsessed with, so she could probably wax poetic on it.
I mean, if anyone saw me at the store last year when we had the bronze version, anyone who tried it on, I
think I
shed
have
a
seen
tear
the bronze.
because it would sell in my size, and then I would just cry about it. But that's okay. I'm fine now.
She's okay, everyone.
I'm
She's
okay.
processed
I've
that.
made it through.
And I, you know, obviously we've shown you every single colorway of this mohair knit today. But I'm wearing it in the acid green and just kind of tied around my waist. This is something that, you know, it's very simple styling. It's also something that we've seen at a few of the bigger like luxury fashion houses on the runway. And while we don't really prescribe to trends here at Tibi, because I just don't think this is a trend, I really did like the idea of like such elevated, super, super high fashion brands kind of making things more wearable and digestible, and that is just such a key foundational element of Tibi and of creative pragmatism. I also really like this navy and acid green together. I think separately, this is, you know, a dress that I would wear out with friends, out to dinner, on a date, and then the sweater honestly makes it super wearable for just about every aspect of my life. So I would definitely swap this for a pair of Barons if I was running to the farmer's market, or if I was going out to lunch, or I'd even put it on with a sneaker if I was going to watch a football game on the weekend, because that's what I do now.
Oh, I
Go
love
blue.
that.
See, it just comes out so naturally, right?
It's really.
You were just like, wow.
Yeah, she's always been.
Go Michigan. Go
Blue.
blue. College football. God, I had to declare. Sorry, not soccer.
Continue with your.
Okay. Anyway, God, the shade in here. I need my sunglasses. I'm telling your mom. Anyways, these two pieces are definitely on my must-have list for winter. Again, we've showed this top in the blue and the black, sweater in blue and black as well, and this dress, which, as Bryn pointed out, is a reinterpretation of the brown one that we had for the last winter capsules, also available in a champagne color. Oh, see, I have friends. They just said go blue. It's a universal language. You wouldn't know. Okay, who am I kidding? I'm just in it to wear navy.
Name a player.
God, man. Why are you getting into the specifics here?
Go blue.
I guess I'll take over. So I am wearing full fundamentals, minus the shoes, but that's okay, because we can be spicy. I love this set ever since I first saw it after it was signed. I knew I wanted to wear it this way. I am a big fan of wearing shirts as jackets, some might say, which is kind of what we play into sometimes, but I am wearing the fundamentals Sam jean in the
It's the garment
The
twill
garment
and
twill.
ivory with the
Thank you.
matching
Look at us
jacket.
saving each other.
Because I really love, guys, I love these jeans. I mean, I love a satin jean.
It's
So,
the best. Yeah, everyone. I actually wore my classic blue ones today, but I decided to put. And these are my size, guys. This is a 24, so I am 5'2".
so if you're looking for the 24 Brit, I have it.
If you're looking for the 24 in any of the Sam jeans, we probably have them. But this is our older version of the belt that I've had for a while. We have the new menswear belt out as well. The buckle, I believe, is just slightly different. I think it's
The
more
new one is
rounded.
it's a bit smaller, a bit more
Yeah.
feminine. They're both based on like vintage belts. This one just has a more menswear, a bit like
Yeah.
larger buckle.
But I love it. I am using this for functionality as well as style. So if that's not CP, I don't know what is.
That's not coming to an email again.
I don't know what is. I am pairing it back to the Garment Wash Twill snap shirting, which I would also wear snapped a little bit up like this. And since we have really hit on the fact that we love pockets today, I will explain why. Hold on. Okay. I would wear it like this and then wear a hand in a pocket to show you some style. So yeah, I love it.
I know, it's just, And so I think this is a good one to end it on,
You
right?
guys look very much like, this is what Amy's wearing when she's picking up the Thanksgiving turkey.
It is, and so,
Yeah.
and that's why I brought this out, because at one of our events, we were talking about what it means to have personal style. And a woman kind of raised her hand and she was like, okay, the best I felt was, I worked with the stylist and she sold me this amazing outfit and I gave a presentation and I was so strong and all these guys were coming up afterwards and they were like, you looked amazing, blah, blah, blah. It was a good story. But the thing was she, at the time though, she was in, full on workout gear. We had a whole conversation about this, so I'm like slowing down because I don't want any of this to sound disparaging. It's really not. I think it's a helpful conversation to have. But I said, okay, you sound like you really were very happy in that one moment, but do you feel like you've got a through line to your everyday
The
life?
rest of who you are.
To the rest of your life. Because she wasn't going to work out. She was coming to meet me at an event, but it was clearly like I see people all the time where they're like, I don't know what to do if it is not like such a specific, like understood dress code, etc. And so we were talking about what does one just even go to work out in and still retain your sense of identity. So I've been trying to show more and more, what does the grocery store look like? What does bar class look like? Because, I mean, honestly, these are the moments of our life and I'm not angry about it. Like actually, if I've got events going on like crazy, I'm bummed. Like I like going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I like doing that stuff. But I also like feeling like myself. So I think that when you figure out these little tricks, like, this is our gray Calder Sweatpant. And we did this way so that you would still, even when you're in something as simple as a gray sweatpant, that you would have like shape and modernity. Someone asked me today, can you give me some examples of modernity? Modernity sometimes are shapes where you least expect them. And so even just having this shape created here at the bottom of the pant is not expected at all. And therefore that feels modern to me.
I think my true test though is like when I wake up in the morning and if I'm like, oh my god, I have no idea what to wear and I'm just really not feeling like getting dressed, it's what I choose to put on in those moments that I know I'm like the most comfortable in. So like every time that I like grab a stand, I'm just like, oh, this is why I like it. And like it's taken me a while to really like come to that realization, especially when I'm like so ready to always like pull the trigger on like a have to have. Like I don't need 50 have to have. Like they're not doing anything for me, and then I end up with like whatever this, that, and the other thing. Exactly. But it's always like I always go for like, those easy pieces where I feel like myself.
I mean, the Stella pant, the navy Stella pant. Yeah. That suit is, it's probably like every runway show, that's what I end up wearing because
We should do like a
I
little
am
like
free
through the years. Happy 20 years.
Yeah, and then you'll see me like a
25
total
years.
asshole in like 2015 running out in a mini skirt, Alaya platforms, and a
I mean, great, right?
camouflage.
Wow. You created a visualization for me that.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can. That's the me that was knocking on Brigitte's door. Hi, I'm here in my fucking Lily printed, blah, whatever. I mean, no offense, if that's you, then, and that's the thing. If that was really your style, you would probably be telling this story like, and Brigitte opened the door, and I looked so amazing, and she was just dressed in like a white dish rag. The story would just be reversed, and that's fine, because it really just is about whether or not you know your style. It's not good style, and it's not bad style.
It's yours.
Last question, really quickly. Someone asked me online before this started. I was just checking the time. They asked if we get dressed bottoms first or tops first. And
You want to say it on three, and everyone.
1, 2, 3.
Bottoms.
Okay, interesting.
What's everyone's favorite color?
Green.
If you're looking to get a job at Tibi,
This is our new version of like rock,
this
scissors,
or
paper.
like this or that.
Yeah. But I do bottoms first.
But-
and,
yeah.
But sometimes like if I'll put on a skinnier bottom, then I'm like, okay, no, I'm not in the mood for that. And then I put on the fuller, and then that
Yeah, I mean, if
informs
you end up
everything
finding
else.
a top that you're like, oh, you know what, I feel comfortable in this, and
Yeah.
you really
Right,
I don't
you're
wanna
not
do a
necessarily
slim
gonna
bottom.
like hit the jackpot on the first
You'll
pair of
change the
pants.
bottom.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a foolproof process, but.
Exactly. One last thing, thank you to the shoe expert who was explaining to me that it can only be a Mary Jane if it's a round toe. And she was saying that's probably why I still don't like Mary Janes, because they have to have a round toe. But what I wanted to say is, yes, we wear the hell out of these. Every time something calls for a sneaker, I wear this. That's why they go to bar class with me a lot, but they don't go into the studio.
They're not on the reformer.
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
Like, you don't have to buy the socks, you get
Exactly. We will have them coming out in a white pattern and a black pattern and a dark purple pattern for like imminently in a
Yes.
week or so.
Yeah.
And we also have them coming out in the zebra pony hair, which I find to be the world's most versatile
Oh.
dress
100%,
up,
yeah.
dress down
Totally.
shoe. When you buy them, buy either your size or a half size down, because they do run a little bit on the bigger size. Although I will say, after my flight the other day, I completely filled them up because I was like so swollen. But don't buy them larger. If you're on the cusp and you're thinking I'll go larger, do not do that. But these are called the Rudolph, and we really do. We love them so much, and a lot of people were chiming in. It is the shoe for everyone who does not like a Mary Jane.
I'm just writing that down, so.
This
I
is
can
their
update
shoe.
people.
Yeah, this is their shoe. So, all right, guys, have a good week, and then tomorrow, next week. Anyways, we'll tell you
No,
about that
next
later. I
weekend.
can't even remember what we're doing next week. We have a photo shoot, right? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, you know what?
Oh, no.
Actually, next week, Sarah and I are gonna be at Hampton
Is that?
in
Not
Charleston.
next week.
And that's the week
Oh,
after.
sorry, next week. Next week,
week
I'm
is
gonna be in
normal.
Texas.
Oh, you're in
I'm gonna be in
Oh,
Texas.
okay.
Yeah.
So in 2.
And then the next week, we're gonna be at Hampton in Charleston. And if you would like an appointment, don't DM me, although I don't mind it, but I can't do anything for you. DM Hampton to set up an appointment, and you can specify. You
Yeah.
might want to work just with Sarah, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Everyone
yeah.
refers Amy. It's okay, guys.
No. And then the following week is Thanksgiving, but we have our gift guide coming out too, which is super duper good, and we have a fun surprise around that. So you guys get your pen